So I did a podcast not long ago about the Great Awakening. And if this isn't an example of the Great Awakening, I don't know what is. The premise of the video was that with all the access to information and being able to share vast amounts of data and things that are going on, news, stuff like that in real time with people on the opposite side of the planet, the world is waking up. People are waking up and realising what's going on around us. So what's happened over the last 24 hours has been nothing short of incredible and exciting. It's people getting together and communicating and organising themselves against the people that seek to hold power over us. It's brilliant, honestly. It's amazing. And of course, I'm talking about what's happened with the GameStop gate, as they're starting to call it. And if you haven't heard about it, basically, there was a big hedge fund in the US, and they sought to short sell the shares of GameStop. And I'm not claiming to be an expert. I don't know much about it, to be honest, but I do find it fascinating. My understanding is that short selling's where somebody borrows money, sells all their shares, so it goes down to a really low price, buys at that price, and then allows the price to go back up to normal, and then pays off their debt. But then contractually, the people that they loan the money from have their money returned to them within so many days, and then with so much money on top, with a fee, I guess. And that's my understanding of it. So the point of it was, I don't know if it's legal, I don't know if it's illegal, but it was fun anyway. So this hedge fund, these billionaires who have loads of money, and they invest and they play with companies' shares, and they make a lot of money. The Wolf of Wall Street is kind of looking at what hedge funds do. So the subreddit Wall Street Bets, the people who are on there, the community, decided that they didn't like this action. It's devaluing a company. It's taking the mick out of the company and out of the shareholders and people that work for it. So they decided to do something about it. So they clubbed together, and it went viral, and everybody decided, right, we're all going to buy shares and drive the value of this stock, the share up in GameStop, and the end game being that when it hits, when it keeps rising and rising and rising, it hits the time that the hedge fund has to pay back the money. They're going to have to buy the shares at that inflated price, that incredibly high price, and it's going to potentially bankrupt them, which it has. I don't know if they've actually gone bankrupt yet, but it can't be far off. But they've lost billions and billions and billions of dollars on this share. And what's happened from there is quite incredible, that many of the trading apps and many of the platforms that you can go and buy and sell shares on have just taken off the GameStop, taken off the ability to buy shares in GameStop. And one of the reasons is that the market has said that this can't happen. People can't get together and affect the price of shares. But that's exactly what these hedge funds do. They affect it. They short sell and they affect the price so that they can buy low and sell high. So to me, it's just beautiful, because the system is rigged against the normal person. It's rigged unless you're very, very wealthy. It's rigged against us, and there's not much we can do about it. And we've seen that with recent elections and with recent goings on. The people who hold the money and the power, they don't care. So this is a really nice reminder to those people actually who holds the real power. That was a sip of victory. So it's really, I mean, it's an incredible testament to what we can do as a people against the people that oppress us, and it's going to continue now that now that people realise that they can affect the market in such a way, and these super rich people are going to lose money and can lose money by the actions of many. They're going to do it again. So there's a lot more going on. There's a lot of other short selling going on that is gonna be very, very interesting. The most interesting one will be what I think is going to come up next, which is silver. So, and again, I don't claim to know 100%. I'm not that clued up on it, but I've got a very basic understanding. But my basic knowledge of it is that the number of shares in silver out there is way more than the actual physical amount of silver out there. So again, it's able to be short sold, and again, it looks like the online communities are going to attempt to stop it from happening, which is only right. It's that meme of the pirate. I forgot what the name of with Tom Hanks. I forgot the name of the movie where the pirate says, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." So there's loads of memes going around now saying, "Look at me, I'm the broker now. I'm the hedge fund now." Because it's right. I mean, it's the haves. I talk about this a lot in my podcasts, but it's the haves and the have-nots. And it's about the people that have lots of money and wealth and accumulate it all, and they keep the people who don't have a lot of money, wealth down, and they manipulate the markets. But now they're telling other people that they can't manipulate the market like that. So we'll see what happens from there. But it's only, in my opinion, it's only the start. With what's happened, the way that a lot of people have been able to invest their money is that they've cashed in some of their crypto. They've cashed in their Bitcoin, and just used it to drive the prices up. So crypto and Bitcoin in particular recently, it's a game changer because it can't be controlled. It's a game changer, and it's shaking the foundation of the world. People, again, the wealthy institutions, the EU, all of these stock markets, and they're petrified. Because when crypto was just a novelty, when it was just a digital currency, it'll never take on. It'll never go anywhere. They didn't care, and it was a bit of a joke to them. But now it's got real value, and now that people believe in it, now they're starting to listen, and now they're starting to worry, because things like this can happen. We can all liquidate the Bitcoin. We can all cash out a bit of Bitcoin and put it into something else and destroy their party. It's a fun game to have, and it's giving a lot of people freedom. The monetary systems that we have at the moment are oppressive in themselves anyway. They're oppressive. With inflation, with tax, like the system's rigged against us. We're not there to win. We're not. The game isn't tilted towards us. It's tilted towards them. We're not supposed to win. They are. Constantly, they've had hundreds of years of being able to perfect their money system so that it stops the little guy, it keeps the little guy down who struggles to pay that tax and can't get out, and it keeps them at the top. And that's all changing, and I could not be happier. So it started out, crypto started out, and again, I can't give you a detailed history because I'm not as clued up as a lot of other people. But it started out as just an alternative to fiat money. Now, fiat money is it's regular money, and it's determined by authority, and that's all you need to know really, is that fiat money, normal money, currency, pounds, dollars, yen, whatever the currency is, it's determined by authority, and it's driven by regulation, and they're able to control it so that it's not a real free market. But then that's where crypto came in. People started to say, okay, so what if we could create a currency that people believed in, and there was a way to trade amongst ourselves without being regulated. Let the market decide. And so that crypto was born, and so Bitcoin, blockchain technology was built for Bitcoin, and now it's being used for many other things. Blockchain being where the technologies, so it's not kind of centralized. It's a decentralized technology that runs through a network of computers rather than kind of just one hub and one authority and one control. So there's no way to take it down or to stop it, because it's decentralized. It runs on its own. It's alive. It's an ecosystem. So Bitcoin was created with that in mind, and then other cryptocurrencies started to pop up to cater for different needs, for privacy, for other technologies, for coins that prop up other blockchain sites and platforms, and so it's become an ecosystem. But the best part of it is it's outside of the structure that's been created by the people in power. It's outside of that. There's nothing they can do about it. The possibilities for crypto are endless. And now that people have realised that not only can you trade with crypto, not only can you send and receive crypto and for goods and services, but you can also make. It's an investment. It's a bloody good investment at the moment, and especially with people realising the rigged game that the rest of the kind of the elite and the people in power are playing. It's only going to get stronger and stronger. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin recently hitting its crazy high. Like, I think I read somewhere that in 2016, one Bitcoin was 360 something pounds, or dollars, and the all-time high. It's just hit its all-time high of like 41,900 something. Whatever. That's insane. It's insane. It's unbelievable, but it just shows the confidence that people have now in investing in crypto. So it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and as people start to realise that they're investing in the traditional stock markets, the controls that are on it that don't allow actions such as the Wall Street bets action to happen, they're going to start throwing the money over in Bitcoin or over in other cryptos. And why is crypto good and fiat bad? Well, fiat obviously relies on a system. So our monetary system relies on inflation, relies on taxation, which means that the money that you receive today for your work, tomorrow, in the future, it's not going to have the same value. You're not going to be able to buy the same amount of goods and services that you could buy today in the future because of constant inflation. So crypto solves that. Crypto is completely decentralized. Nobody runs it. It runs itself. So it solves it. You don't have to worry about somebody putting a tax or somebody printing money. It doesn't happen. And it's also based. Another thing I like is that it's based on the trust between the individuals. So if you're buying and selling with crypto, it's based on trust. So you've got to know. More than likely, you've got to know the other person, And if you don't know the other person that you're buying from, you should really be checking reviews if that person's got reviews online for their goods or service, and see that other people have said, yep, this is a reputable seller. They can be trusted. But so it relies on that trust, but it's just a case of sending. You just send the amount that you want to send to the other person's key, and that's it, to their address, their wallet. That's it. It's done, and it arrives, and they go, "Yep, it's here. So I'll send you whatever you bought from me." And so quickly after crypto started to gain some popularity, it started to be traded on the Silk Road, which was a dark web marketplace, and you could buy anything on there, literally anything. Weapons, drugs, whatever, as well as some ordinary stuff as well. And so it became a world that was happening outside of a marketplace, that was happening outside of the control of the governments and the hierarchy that we have in place. And so people gravitated towards it and thought, this is actually really good. This is class. And I remember at the start, people saying that it wasn't going to work. It's not going to work. Like, the governments, it'll never take on. Nobody will ever have confidence in it as they do with normal money, with fiat money. So it's not gonna. No, it'll never work. And then I could see it being used on the Silk Road, and I could see people buying and selling. And then sadly, with the popularity that Silk Road gained, and also the kind of the illegality of a lot of the products and service that it sold, it eventually got tracked down and shut down, and its founder Ross Ulbricht, obviously he got sent to prison, and there he is now. And then there's kind of a bit of a legend and myth around him, that what happened to his bitcoins, that his gold, his stash, his kind of his fortune from Silk Road, what happened to it, because it was never found. So they don't know if it was found through when the website was seized by law enforcement, whatever, and then who knows what happened to it, or is it still out there somewhere, or was it hacked, or nobody knows. But yeah, so another kind of something to mention about the fiat currencies is they're controllable. And if our lives are so intertwined and interconnected with money, with fiat money, then if that's controllable, we're controllable, and that's another big issue as well. It's all traceable. There's a what do you call it? A money trail, constantly a money trail. And as far as I'm concerned, as a free human being, it shouldn't be anybody else's business what we're buying and selling, what we're trading, kind of what money we're sending to people. We shouldn't have to give people a chunk of what we have, a chunk of our money. We shouldn't have to give politicians that money. So it's nobody's business, but it is. But fiat money is very, very controllable. And again, so being outside of that gives you a power, gives you an anonymity. People can't see what you're doing. People aren't controlling your life because you're in control. And this action on the GameStop shares is a really good example of how people outside of that system can affect massive change, and that's what the elites are scared of. So I'd like to see crypto becoming more mainstream, and it's my plan in the coming years with some future businesses that I'm going to start accepting crypto. I might even go crypto only, and just do it that way, and it just, once it starts to be more mainstream, it's my belief that people will gravitate more to it, and people will, knowing that I'm accepting crypto and other people are accepting crypto. There are people already doing it now. I mean, there's coffee shops. There's a lot of people online already accept crypto as payment. It's very normal online. But I'd like to see it more mainstream. I'd like to see it where if I go to my local shop, if I go to my local small business, not to the supermarkets, but if I go to my local small business and I have crypto, I want to be able to pay there so that nobody else can see. It doesn't involve anybody else. That person's got goods that I want, and I want to buy those goods. So it's. I mean, the good thing about it, it reminds me of going back to the days of bartering, of where you discuss. I have a good, you have a good, and you swap goods. But in this case, it's I have crypto, you have a service or goods. I want to buy. What's your price? And you set everything. You just set your price. You set your price, and the person pays you, and you give them what they paid for. It doesn't need to be set. So, for example, with fiat money at the moment, you might set your price, but then the government's going to slap a tax on which increases your price. And what good's that? Because that's not the price that you want to sell your good for. That's not the price that you think your customers deserve. You have to put up your price to include the tax. And so what's quite funny, doing a little bit of research the other day, again, I'm a novice, but governments will tell you that you have to pay tax now on crypto assets, cryptocurrencies. You don't. It's got nothing to do with them. It's not their business. It's none of their business. They've got no control. How are governments going to have control over something that's decentralized and outside of their jurisdiction? It's ridiculous. So I went on the Revenue and Customs in the UK, the Revenue and Customs website, and they've got a page about crypto tax and how do you declare your tax on your crypto stuff, on your crypto assets. So it's to do with, at the moment, I think it's to do with capital gains tax. So like if you're passing it on, if you're giving it to somebody, if you die and somebody inherits it, they have to pay tax on it. Do they? They don't. So just it's funny to watch the people in power lose a bit of control and try and think of ways to win back that control. That's all. And the value of crypto continues to grow and grow and grow faster and faster and faster. It's brilliant. It's amazing. So if you invested, I mean, I've got family members who I've seen invest money, and a week later, this was the boom, the Bitcoin boom, but a week later they doubled their money. It's amazing. They invested across different currencies, but wow, like to see it happen, for them to show me their investment, to show me how much it's now worth. And fiat currency isn't like that anymore. Kind of the golden days of investing in currencies is no more, because it's all controlled. It's all centrally controlled and tightly controlled. So you're never going to make a ton of money off it, because it's never going to go up or down, amazingly up or down. So if you're receiving crypto as a way of payment for your goods or services, the great thing to know, the opposite of fiat, is that money that you receive today is going to go up in value day after day after day. So your payments are going to increase. The payments that you receive will increase and increase and increase. I would say for a long time yet, for years to come, possibly decades, because people will continue to lose faith in the fiat currencies and in our governments, in the people in power. I mean, who knows what they're going to do eventually to try and combat it, but for now, there's nothing they can do. And we can start to build trust again between buyers and sellers. Some of that trust may have kind of gone on because you don't know the ins and outs. You don't know how much pressure companies are under or small businesses are under. I remember managing a pub for a company, and the tax would the duty would go up on alcohol sales, and so the company that I work for would increase their prices on their beer and on their drinks. So the beer might go up, it might have gone up 4p, 5p. But then the customers would come in and they'd complain, oh, it's gone up again. Oh, like, but their frustration was taken out on us because we were the person selling the beer. They didn't have any interest or knowledge of the company or of the government that had imposed the tax. They were just unhappy whereas the transparency of trading with crypto and doing business in crypto is that there's going to be trust there. You can trust people. So it inspires confidence again. I think the establishment are worried now. They're very worried. And there's good reason. For example, recently, Christine Lagarde, who's the president of the European Central Bank now, who incidentally was also the president of the International Monetary Fund before that, and something in France before that, and was convicted of fraud while she was in her role, I believe, in one of her roles in government in France, which is incredible, really. But she's recently come out and started a narrative that cryptocurrency is being used by criminals and by drug dealers and by arms dealers and by terrorists and people traffickers and money launderers. But you guess what? People use fiat money for that as well. Exactly the same. So it's not anything different. It's just the narrative. She's trying to demonize cryptocurrency. And so that's the thing. They want to create a narrative so they can go after crypto and try and rein it back in again. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with that. And Max Kaiser, Christine Lagarde, I've got utter contempt for her. But Max Kaiser was one of the early pioneers of Bitcoin. He was, I believe, he was a Wall Street banker back in the day when there was a massive crash, and he went all in on Bitcoin, and now he's laughing. But he calls her snake face. I follow him on social, and it makes me laugh that he calls her snake face because she has got a real snaky face. She's got a real reptilian look about her. So obviously, what she wants to do is she wants to regulate. She's setting up the narrative to be able to regulate or destroy crypto. So it's either allow us to regulate or we destroy it. And that's ultimately what she's trying to get to. But you know what? Spoiler alert. There's nothing they can do about it. There's not a thing. There's not a thing they can do about it. The only thing they could do that will stop this now, which it's becoming a revolution now with people online and communities now attacking the hedge funds, attacking the elites financially. The only thing I could do is shut down the whole system, shut down the whole internet. And if they don't do that, then they're screwed. I mean, why wouldn't they want to control it? They've been controlling money for the rest of history, and it's worked out well for them. So they're also seeing their traditional investments just not giving the returns that they've always had. So they realise that there's another game in town, but a game that they can't rig. They play their game. They may invest in crypto, I don't know, but they play their game because they know that they can make money the way that they've always made money. Economies now are faltering with the craziness that's going on. Economies are falling down, very close to collapse, the global economy. And so that's why I think people are turning to crypto. People are putting their money over there because it's safer. It's out of the reach of governments. Nobody's going to turn around to them and say, well, we're shutting down your bank account now. We're shutting down the market. You can't buy shares in this particular thing. Nobody can do that anymore. It's a free market. People want that free market, and it's draining their pockets, and that's what they don't like. I guess another consequence of all of this is that eventually in the future, it opens up the possibility, and this is another thing that the elites don't like, but it opens up another possibility that other people, not them, can become very powerful, and will be able to challenge them and challenge their gravy train. And that's the funny thing, that maybe they see that it'll be a group of people like them. But Wall Street bets, and now the people online, on Twitter, on Reddit, who are all now investing in, clubbing together and saying, right, we're going to go after this hedge fund. We're going to go after this person. We're going to go after this bank, whatever it is. It's a big group of people. Instead, rather than it being a monopoly, it's a monopsony. It's a big group of people who are deciding what's going on. And so it's part of the game. It's part of the game. So it's with, I mean, it's going to keep going and keep going. Even if it rises and falls, crypto is going to keep over the medium to long term. It's just going to keep growing, even if you see dips and peaks and troughs and everything else. So it will keep growing. I mean, Bitcoin hit its all-time high recently. Ethereum hit its all-time high, and I'm just looking now at $1,476. So that's evidence that people they're losing confidence in the traditional way of doing things, and they know that we can all do it better. So maybe in the past there wasn't confidence that it was a real thing, but there is now. There is now. People are getting really serious about this now, and it'll just keep flying. I mean, another thing is and again, check out on the news, but this was another thing that made me honestly think that it was a real serious thing that's going on, is that countries have started to now dedicate some of their resources, their national grid, to mining Bitcoin. So Pakistan started doing it. I think cryptocurrency was illegal in Pakistan up until recently, and they've just decided, okay, we're going to bite the bullet because we can't do this anymore. We need to get on board with this, and so they're mining Bitcoin. A government mining Bitcoin. I think maybe Turkey doing it as well. But for me, this is mind blowing. The legitimacy that this gives to crypto is out of this world. You've got governments actually mining. We Are Change, who I follow on YouTube, on Twitter, and everything else. They said, simply put, crypto is becoming its own bank, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. You love to see it. It's amazing. These are amazing times, people. Amazing times. We've just got to keep pushing, and we take the whole lot down. And what's beautiful about it is when your starting point is at the bottom meaning not the elite, the only way is up. And so if you bring the whole thing crashing down, you don't lose anything. They do. But then we all start off on a level playing field. So we're not tied down now to one specific corrupt, manipulatable system. We can choose our own elixir now. We can choose our own way of doing business. Choose your own currency. Choose what you like. That's the way to do business. Not to have it controlled and have our lives controlled. It's happening. It's for me, what's happened in the last 24 hours with GameStop Gate. It's a real big show of when the people come together. Doesn't matter about your political this and your identity this and your beliefs this and all of these, it doesn't matter about any of that. When you all come together and you all say, okay, we all just want a fair crack of the whip. And you say, we've had enough. Now we're coming for you. That's when beautiful things happen. And that's when you realise that you can work together and you can make a big, big change. So, right, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming in, listening and watching my podcast again. I hope you've invested wisely. I hope you're going to buy some crypto. I hope you're going to get in on the fun and the action of hitting some of these people on Wall Street for everything they've got. It's a good time. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So thanks very much for watching, and hopefully you'll be back next week and we'll speak again, or I'll speak and you'll follow along. If you'd like to be on an episode of Drinks with Chris and you want to come and discuss a topic, then please let me know. I'm really open to that. So check out my social media links down in the description. Follow through to send me a message and just say, look, this is what I am. This is who I am. Let's have a conversation about something. I really enjoy kind of having talks and having debates and that. So let me know. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the like button. Hit the little bell notification so that your email will let you know every time I post a new video. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and we'll speak again next week. Grab yourself a drink. Come and sit down. Let's talk. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.